Again, there was a really large announcement on Avax as well. Before I move on to Avax, we could kind of go back to SNX here. US dollar, go to Coinbase. So this thing is up relatively, again, not as much as some of these other coins like Celestia, which is up like 10x since it launched, 3 months ago or something like that. SNX is up about double since it bottomed out, from about $2 to around $4.50, $4 or whatever, around double. And so this sort of proposal started to get voted on and discussed just a couple of weeks ago amidst this sort of bull market where you see that big crossover of those moving averages. So the vote just got passed. Right up here where that big green candle is on the far right-hand side of the chart. The vote got passed, and now the market is starting to price in this new information, saying, okay, well, the calculus changes of this, the trajectory of price. If we have certain factors that were influencing it in the past that no longer exist, there needs to be a repricing of this. And so SNX is something that I think that a lot of the world doesn't, a lot of the overall world doesn't really understand what's going on. It's kind of niche, right? That's why we talk about it. We're specialty researchers in a sense. And this is like, pretty much popping up on our radar, flashing bright signals. And the SNX guys, these are OG DeFi guys. They are, they know how to build successful projects and protocols. It gets a lot of usage. So I'm really excited about this one. Again, this is not financial advice. I'm not telling everybody to go out and buy this because it's going to go higher immediately. I'm just saying generally it has all those kind of telltale signs of what I personally look for when I park my money, right? And so to me, this looks like an interesting opportunity. Again, not financial advice, but just go ahead and consider that. And so I think a lot of the world is going to be waking up to it. Even crypto-specific people, over time, they'll start to be like, okay, well, what are the tokens with the least amount of inflation? And they'll realize, oh my God, SNX, this thing has the Lindy effect. It's been around for 5 or 6 years. It's got a lot of usage. It's got sticky users. A lot of applications are built on it, and they don't even have inflation. Wow, this is crazy. And I think that trend is going to be just solidified over time. That was one. I know Avax, like I mentioned, they've had an incredible year. Especially the last couple months. And I actually, Avax was one that we called out and we highlighted kind of in the wake of the Solana breakout. And we saw Avax at a $7 billion market cap ish, called it out, highlighted it as just something that was, going to be, kind of closing the gap on I think it was a $3 billion market cap. Solana had already re-rated to like a $20 billion market cap. And we said, well, this discrepancy doesn't make that much sense. And so if you actually take a look and, you go, Brendan, pull up Avax USD, Avax USD / Sol USD, and then just click enter. So what we're seeing here is now Avax in terms of Solana. So we're actually charting the crosspair here. And you can see Avax since November has rallied huge, even relative to Solana. So if you were in Solana, while Avax was ripping, you were leaving a lot on the sidelines. So what we did, we actually rotated quite a bit out of the Solana trade. That was the first one to pump, and then bought Avax, right? And saw Avax as kind of the next trade. And sort of, we wrote some newsletters and kind of put out some videos talking about just that general trade setup. And it's worked out perfectly because the idea is that, Solana had this $20 billion market cap, and the trade back in the past cycle was that these kind of always had similar market caps, always about similar usage. It was the Soluna Avax trade, SOLUNA-VAX, right? Soluna Avax. There was always this dance between the three. Mm-hmm. Now we don't have Luna, but now we have just Sol Avax. And so it was very clear Avax hadn't had its day in the sun, and that was just an incredible move that we saw. And so the crypto markets are so inefficient, so small still, that those are really playable trades. And Avax has a really burgeoning ecosystem. They announced a lot of big RWA, sort of real-world asset partnerships with other big banks that are going on. It's just incredible to see what's going on there. So those are kind of two that have been spectacular, that I think are going to continue to be spectacular. I kind of wanted to call those out. But Brendan, anything else on your radar here, kind of before we wrap up and get everybody back to hopefully making a killing here in the crypto market?
I wouldn't be chiming in about a crypto if I didn't mention the gaming market. It's clear that I'm a big fan of it. And IMX, Bryce, is one that me and you have been talking about. And it's just another textbook trade.
One of our most recent additions to our model portfolio that we have for all of our Crypt Nation subscribers.
Yeah, exactly. And what perfect timing on it. And basically just what we saw from IMX is, number one, the whole gaming space is really getting a lot of attention. And it makes sense after the amount of funding that we have seen come into the gaming space. I think over the last 2 years or so, roughly, we have seen about $5.5 billion come into the crypto gaming space. And we're now starting to see the fruits of those labors. Things like IMX had a beautiful break, hook, and go. It broke above an area of resistance, retraced back down to it, tested it as support, like we said earlier, and then it just shot up to the upside to new yearly highs here above $2 for the first time. I mean, this is really the first time that IMX has seen $2 since April of 2022. So a lot of cryptos are seeing charts just like this one. I know another one, Bryce, that me and you mentioned was Marinade. That thing went on this holy rip to the upside over the past couple of days. I think it did 240% or something like that. Massive candle coming in. But yeah, I mean, there's just a lot to see across the board. There's a lot of good stuff to look at. And I think that everyone that's in the crypto markets, you don't need to necessarily rush into everything because, like we mentioned earlier, there is this game of popcorn happening. And one crypto will spike and blow up. It'll have this huge move to the upside. Then while it's cooling down, another one's popping off. And then while that one's now cooling down, a third one's popping off. And just left and right, there is this trade-off. But there's also times where the whole market is moving upwards as well. I think the time that we're at right now is we see we see major caps like Bitcoin and Ethereum retracing 5-10% over the last couple of days. But even in light of that, we saw IMX moving and Cosmos moving and Celestia moving nearly 20% to new year, or not even to new yearly highs, to new all-time highs. Yeah. So there truly is opportunity out there. And the crypto market is certainly got a lot more great things to come.
Yeah, no, I think that's an incredible sort of place to end it on. Brendan, Tivo, always appreciate your guys' time and your thoughts, and hopefully everybody at home has enjoyed it. And we're going to be putting out a lot more content as always. We're Spotify, Apple, YouTube. Please join us on YouTube. We've got lots of fun videos and charts and just content coming out of our ears practically. So check us out there. Also, if you guys are interested in getting a little bit more involved with our crypto trade recommendations and just all around what we're doing and kind of following along with our model portfolios and trade alerts and all that kind of stuff, we've got a link actually in the show notes that you guys could check out. For $1, you could get a 2-week trial. You could come and see all of our technical analysis, all of our fundamental analysis and research and newsletters and videos. Guys, we've got all sorts of courses behind this sort of paywall that we made specially for you, especially for bull markets, telling you guys how to capitalize and how to just make a killing. So hopefully everybody who's watching enjoyed. And if you guys want a little bit more taste, hit the link in the show notes. $1, 2 weeks. Come and see, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Stay long and stay strong. We'll see you guys on the other side.